swear to God, this is it. This is the last time I'm giving him a chance. I played this game 17 years, 10,852 hours a day. I've done all the content. I'm a cutting edge LFR player. Okay, I've done it all. Alright, and this is the last chance they're gonna get. That's it. 10.0 is not good. This game is dead. I'm never coming back. Neither should you. We should all leave and go play Ashes in 2085 when we're 267 years old.
Basically every WoW player since fucking BC, bro. Now, let it be known that this individual got banned already. He was like giga banned. It was his first post. There's no way. Let it be known this is a lord to the max. Yeah, exactly. 10.0 leak. Posting on a throwaway for obvious reasons. Here it is, the actual leak, taken from another private game dev Discord. So all of a sudden, there's like 7 private game dev Discords out there, and they're all leaking information to the public, right? That's natural. New expansion is straight up called the Dragon Isles. Okay, I could live with that. All marketing being put together has the tagline, Azeroth has awoken. Okay. New zone, the Dragon Isle. New race, Black Dragons. New system, world shaping. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. End of Shadowlands. In the fight with the jailer, Azeroth is ruptured. How much pain does this bitch gotta go through? She gets stabbed, she gets ruptured, she gets her essence destroyed. Like, bro, like how is this fucking planet ever gonna wake up? Beat the jailer and save the planet, but there's consequences. Some stay a while and listen. Events after the fight describe the state of Azeroth. Magni reverts back from diamond form. Nope, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to even see Magni anymore. 925 pre-expansion event being put together is huge. Lots of reused events like earthquakes and invasions, but also a massive time-walking event that's being designed as a mini season of mastery across lots of Azeroth-centric dungeons and raids. Devs want players familiar with the history of Azeroth before 10.0, a big tour of old events and lore. Sure, that sounds fun. Okay. Crazed Trogs, Quillboro, Manton, and Elemental invasions across most of Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, Northern and Pandaria, New World boss, Garadon, son of Galakron. Man, this guy's just jumping on the Galakron train right here. Because everyone's been talking about that shit. But I mean, hey, you know what? Invasions all across the entire planet, I'm down with that. You know, Legion was like that. That's what made Legion pretty awesome. Let's see, new expansion. 10.0 cinematic being put together is the biggest Blizz has ever produced. Entire Sin team has been developing this for over a year. Actually, it takes them longer than that. All Shadowlands pre-rendered cinematics were scrapped, and the whole team moved on to this. It is a love letter to Azeroth. Mirrors the original WoW launch cinematic. It ends with Azeroth being born. Okay. As a result of the jailer's assault, Azeroth the Eternal is born from the world soul. She's a dragon, sort of. All world souls are unique, and Azeroth's essence has indirectly shaped the planet for aeons. Dragons are tied directly to Azeroth, who is sort of a dragon progenitor. What? Dragon mommy? Dragon mommy milk? Once players reach Dragon Isles, they work directly with Azeroth to reshape the world. Story here is that the planet has taken a beating over the last couple of decades and is having dire consequences for everyone living there. Azeroth, as a character, described sort of like Lilu from Fifth Element, a supreme being but with the mind of a child. Players need to help her unlock her powers to heal the planet. She's in the temple on the Dragon Isles with Thrall and Rathian. Lots of Earthwarder lore as the three of them try to do what Deathwing couldn't. So basically we have like infant dragon Azeroth. Okay. Azeroth has her own talent tree. It looks very much like old school talent trees from Classic. Players can help her by training her via this tree. Each talent is also usable by players through the World Bond ability. So we're soul binding ourselves to Child Dragon Azeroth. Okay. New abilities are like Covenant abilities, but no additional locked-in choices. Everyone gets the same abilities. Abilities have secondary effects depending on the zone you're in. One example is an ability like Abomination's Limb that also works as a grapple hook. Dragon Isle zones will change over time via world shaping. Some pretty cool massive changes like a whole zone turning from a desert into a forest. Zone is heavily elf focused, with night elves trying to discover a way to restore Tedrasil with Azeroth's help, even though she's a child. You plant trees and tend to a huge forest here, like a massive version of the MOP farm. World shaping unlocks new abilities in each zone: water walking, flying, teleporting, spectral sight, treasure finding. Some older zones in Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor will be getting big updates during the expansion. I mean, this is probably someone who's just trying to tell a good story in this leak. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I can't see Azeroth being born, but she's a dragon. And then, like, her human form is like a babe, like a child dragon or something. Well, it doesn't sound too shit, but I mean, like, if the other Titans in the Pantheon look nothing like dragons and are nothing at all, then what? So is it the aspects that somehow make her a dragon? I don't even know. Like, what? He's like a dragon. Like, all right. He has the mind of a child. Black dragons. Works like Worgen. Customize your dragon form and humanoid appearances. Humanoid can be any race, including allied races. Extra customization options for humanoid form, including horns, tails, jewelry, scales, as well as effects like burning eyes and molten blood, which is a cool new effect. Dragon form is mainly used for travel and 2 racial abilities. Story will explain why black dragons need to learn how to fight like mortals as one of the classes. Black dragons can be warrior, mage, rogue, druid, hunter, warlock, priest, shaman, and paladin, all the original WoW classes. So no demon hunter, no monk, I guess, huh? Unfortunate. Black dragon druid lore and shapeshift forms are super fun. Rathian has been trying to restore the Black Dragon flight since Kata. Players are new dragons that Rathian has been overseeing in the Dragon Isles. Rathian has recruited, kidnapped class trainers from all over Azeroth to train his new flight. The Warlock trainer will cause some players to flip out. Since the battle with Deathwing, all dragon aspects have been losing their magic. New dragon players need to learn how to fight alongside mortal races to save their race. Rathian's big thing is reversing the loss of magic from dragons completely and protecting his flight. No big bad in 10.0, but there are infinite dragons, Netherwing, and some new Dragon Isle specific proto races. There's pretty fun Trog progenitor race that's actually super advanced and intelligent. Going back to smaller zone contained stories, big focus on discovery, soft rebooting Azeroth the planet, and setting up future conflicts. Rathian has recruited, kidnapped class trainers from Azeroth to train his new flight. Stop it. Get some help. Oh, man. I mean, it's a creative leak. Yeah, this guy goes, I admire the OP's imaginations. It sounds pretty cool and not immediately probably bogus. Yeah, like, you know, this guy's basically catering to like the kind of the classic way of storytelling, and, you know, Azeroth being like the focus of a system. I actually had a prediction kind of like this back in the day, maybe like I think when we were trying to predict I think post Legion, and I said a cool system would be a system where Azeroth wakes up and, you know, we're fighting some big bad on the planet and the whole planet gets redone because, you know, like the story told from the viewpoint in the Chronicles of the Titans tells you that whenever a world soul is born, it has a significant impact on the planet itself. So the planet can't just look the way it looks now if it is born out of it. And I said it would be cool if we had like the Titans, and each Titan was kind of like an essence that you can bind yourself to, but you can use them all at the same time. And then, you know, you just have them all there in some like maybe Dragon Isles zone. At that time, we weren't really thinking Dragon Isles. The Scrolls of Lore website recently closed, and I suppose I got a few of our old users feeling nostalgic, so they popped in the Discord. A few of them chatted with Blizz devs from time to time, apparently didn't learn their lesson from the WAD leak. Here's my summary from Loose Lips, you nerds. This guy, by the fact that he starts with you nerds is already a bad sign. No world revamp. They only plan to update zones as needed. No new races in 10.0, but Night Elves get Night Face Satyr. and Horde get Saneland with Venthyr looks. New class is Dragon Knight, male class, only 2 specs, DPS or heal, all races. There's no big time skip. That was a misunderstanding from an interview. Apparently they joke about it a lot. Next was already supposed to be Light Void fighting over life, and then 11.0 would be time. But the feedback on cosmic stuff made them decide to make the Light Void stuff more grounded, so it's on Azeroth and not in the Lifelands. So it's all up in the air. The fuck is a Lifelands? No player housing. The big new thing is more player choice. Pre-expansion event has Botani from WoD going crazy and trying to mulch people to turn them into energy for the planet to keep it from dying. Rather than having one big flying achievement, there's a different, smaller one for each zone. Liz is very happy with how Keystones worked and are going to make them a time-walking thing too. What's actually going on right now? Shadowlands end stuff. We stopped the jailer, but Azeroth is starting to die from having your energy drained into the first one's machines. Pelagos tries to put the energy back, but then the machines break because of the damage from our fight with Zolval. The rift is closing, so we have to leave soon. Okay, but they don't close anything off in gameplay. It's purely a lore thing to flavor the 9.25 patch. A Devourer gets out of the Shadowlands, and it's talked about as really bad, apparently. Devourers are going to be the new Void after Light Void stuff. Arthas is freed from Anduin's sword and says goodbye to Jaina and Uther before turning into a kid and running off to ghost Tyrannus. What the fuck is this shit? This is a shit post is what this is. What the fuck? It says turning into a kid. Oh my god. Tyrande tells Sylvanas to work forever fixing souls in the Maw who don't deserve to be there. Bolvar stays in the Maw to keep an eye on Sylvanas and to do the jailer's actual job. Talia is all sad, but is nursing Anduin back to health. Tyrande and Winter Queen fix the Night Elf souls in the Maw from Tedrassil with her Night Warrior power and cause a Night Fae Satyr type allied race to spawn for Alliance. Some of the revived Night Elves are even more faithful to Elune, and others don't forgive her. Giving up Night Warrior power and surviving weakened Tyrande, so she has the rest to explain why we don't see her for a while. Kael and Sylvanas teach the Sandlane and her loyal Dark Rangers Forsaken Venthyr stuff, and they join the Horde to help the Forsaken and Blood Elves, but also to balance Kaelia, who has some ominous lines about eternal light because death sucks. Pelagos swears he and the Eternals will make the Shadowlands a realm of choices. What is happening? I mean, honestly, I think just these first two things make sense. I could definitely see, you know, Azeroth being drained of all of her energy from the fight. That's the only thing I can see happening in all this nonsense. 10.0 stuff. Azeroth is dying, but it's slow. Thrall talks about how it's reminding him of Outland crumbling. Magni says Azeroth can't speak anymore, basically a coma. Azeroth's in a coma. Okay. Anduin is still all traumatized and nearly shanks Rathian when he shows up. Rathian says he found a way to use the Dragon Isles to heal Azeroth. The Dragon Isles are floating islands that move, which is why mortals almost never find them. While Azeroth's dying, the islands are slowly lowering, the Black Dragonflight Isle finally touching the sea and is the gateway to the others. The islands are being invaded by light void forces that both want to be the ones to heal Azeroth and gain influence over its power. The aspects imbue some mortals with power to help fight back the invasions. This is where the new class comes in. Towelliee wants to help the light, and Illyria wants to spy on both invasions. I mean, the story here is decent. Okay. Yeah, Azeroth's in a coma. There's like a whole bunch of new kinds of dragons that only live on the Isles because they went extinct elsewhere. The Dragon Isles has dragon kobolds. What? That guard the dragons and are super serious. Apparently the ones in the game before were all cursed exiles. What the fuck? Dragons are evolved elementals and every planet has them. Ours are just special because of the Titan blessings speeding up their evolution. Malfurion helps channel a new aspect for green dragons, since unclear whether they meant that Malf is doing the aspect thing like Thrall and Kata, or whether he picks a new green dragon. Ethereals and Brokers are both doing jobs on the Blue Dragon Island, and players get to pick a side. Bronze Island has Nosdormu, Lightbound. And when we make Murozond, and then we make Murozond when we freed him with Void Energy, and he splits into a bunch of copies and escapes. Apparently the one we kill in End Time was only a piece of him. Red Island has dragons being hunted by rebel dragon maw that are void crazy from Twilight Highlands, and the Horde have to kill them. Horde capital is the Black Dragon Den, where Deathwing got corrupted by the old gods. Alliance capital is Tyr's secret base. All right. This is crazy. Odin and the Valajar are invading because he thinks dragons can't do their job. Irel will show up in a patch with AU Garrosh. There are Arakoa in both the Light and Void invasions that want to take the energy from Azeroth to fix Draenor. What? Anduin will do something with Xalatath. Sidonathrys is going to get Lightbound. The Dreadlords are split between serving him or trying to free him. Asked about Ashara and was told she's not in this expansion because she's not thinking about just one planet anymore. The Void is corrupting Sky Whales. That's fucking shitpost. Get out of here with that shit, bro. That is the shittiest shitpost I've ever seen. My man said Sky Whales. That's a good comedy post. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna lie. I think some of the stories in there could actually be legit. Like, no joke. I mean, I would at least try to make it believable. I mean, I don't think Azeroth going into a coma is a thing. Technically, aren't like world souls already kind of like in a coma? Just their essences are the ones that are available to like talk and speak through like Magni and shit. When you think about the lore, I don't know. There's a new leak from 10 minutes ago. Seems realistic too. Wait, there's another one? At this point, like, if it's that many, it's just, I don't know, man. It seems like it's just people just guessing at a story. All right, let's see what the story is here, kids. This got posted today. This guy has one post, obviously, to hide his identity. You know, obviously these guys don't want to know who they are. This is today at 4:09, which was like, what, an hour ago? Let's see. Oh, here we go. A disgruntled senior level designer at Blizzard who recently resigned and is in my guild mentioned this one during one of our raids nights last week to myself and 2 other officers. Their identity is unknown to us. So we known from their LinkedIn that they recently worked with World of Warcraft. Yeah, so apparently they just had a random conversation in Discord, and you just had all this information in a Discord convo. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That all of a sudden, just all this info just kind of came out, right? Yeah, disgruntled. Expansion name: Rise of the Aspects. New continent. Oh my God, it's the Dragon Isles. What? Get out of here. This is craziness. Who would have known? Someone would have done a leak with the Dragon Isles. All right, so 5 zones thematic to the different aspects. Main story in each zone are their return to power. One zone is fully dedicated to endgame content a la Suramar. This is the zone thematic to the Black Dragon Flight. Rathian is a central character here. This is also the location of Deathwing's corruption, which the story will dive into. The first raid is located in this zone, a massive old god temple a la Stormsong Valley, but larger. N'Zoth did not die. That makes no sense. Why would we fight him, beat him, and then fight him again in the first raid just to fight him again? That doesn't seem right. New PvE system, layers. Procedurally generated cavern layers that will feature a variety of different bosses to fight. There are powers similar to Torghast. It was explained as a boss rush mode. Isn't that what they're doing in 9.2? There are very few packs of normal mobs. The core gameplay is heavily focused on boss fights. The system has a challenge mode style for cosmetic rewards. Think Mage Tower, but several bosses and unique powers. All right, I could buy that. A new Mage Tower, sure, with more bosses. New class, Tinkerer, male class, 2 specs, range DPS with turrets and other gimmicks, and mecha suit for tanking. That sounds badass. See, I can get into this fake leak here. I can get into this. I'm liking this. I'm getting like a boner just thinking about it. Level cap increased to 70. Okay. All-time walking zones become 1 to 60. Shadowlands is added to Chromie. Partial old world revamp. Notable zones that are overhauled include Tenaris and Twilight Highlands. These will have content related to max level and players. We'll visit them briefly during questing. The Infinite Dragonflight has a major presence in Tenaris. Gadget Sand is updated. It is larger quest hub, but not as portrayed in Hearthstone. The cultists are once again a major player in Twilight Highlands. Other zones such as Elwyn Forest, Durotar, Westfall, Duskwood remains the same, but with improved graphics. Many of the old buildings have been updated to modern graphics. This includes Stormwind and Orgrimmar. Didn't Stormwind and Orgrimmar just go through like a graphic revamp already? Okay. Cross-faction end gameplay, raiding, dungeons, PvP, and other end game content will be done in groups of both factions. I mean, that's going to happen. Cannot be cross-faction grouped in war mode. Makes sense. Opposing faction cities are still hostile. Major professions overhaul. Large focus. Multiple new developers recruited specifically for this. That's going to be a shit show. that already I think is bad. Conclusion of Shadowlands 925 and pre-patch. Using the Forge of the First Ones, the jailer successfully drains Azeroth, severely injuring the planet. Ow. The wounds that were sealed have re-emerged, and Azeroth is on the brink of dying. Again! After Zolval the Jailer has been defeated, the First Ones, 3, appear in a cinematic, resetting Zolval to his original deactivated form. He is not dead and will return in the future. There will be... There will be an epilogue in the form of 925 featuring a short quest line centered around Tyrande forgiving Sylvanas. Oh no. And Sylvanas looking for Nathanos. The patch will also include minor quality of life additions and time walking for BFA dungeons, including Mythic Plus and the battle for the Zarlor raid. Anduin is saved, but will not be himself. As the heroes of Azeroth return, the Stormwind nobles are skeptical of their king, instead giving their loyalty to Tyrallion. Anduin will feel defeated and depressed about everything he did during his domination and will not fight it. Again, Greymane and Matthias Shaw is acting on Anduin's behalf to restore him to the throne. Tension in the alliance is growing. The Scarlet Crusade is significantly growing in power in the background. Tyrallion plays a big part in this. I can see that. This is all I managed to get notes for. Everything was happening quickly and we were not warned that they were going to spill the beans. Believe it if you will, the reveal is just 2 months away. I would say out of all the leaks, I give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Like, I would be able to get into this expansion easily if this all were to happen. But the whole procedurally generated layers thing, that kind of crap doesn't work in WoW, man. They tried to do something like that with Torghast. It just doesn't work. It's too much RNG. People will complain, whatever. It sounds plausible. It does sound plausible. But there's still, like, no main focus. Because what I like about this one is that this is the only leak that mentions that the Dragon Isles is actually supposed to be a temple of the old gods. Everyone keeps talking about Dragonflight, but they don't mention N'Zoth or any of the old gods. That the original purpose of the Dragon Isles was to be a temple of the old god where you first see the aspects. Thinker class in every leak. Not true. Out of the 4 total leaks that there have been, well, we can't really call them leaks. Leaks would actually be something that was confirmed leak. These are just speculation, you know, probably theory crafting, lore players that are just predicting what they think is going to happen. But it does say the expansion will be revealed in the first half of March on a YouTube live stream. 9.2 is set to release at the end of February. Hmm. 9.2 has multiple cinematics. The final one will be available in week 2 with the Jailer. The expansion is revealed 2 days later, the following Thursday. That makes no sense. I guess maybe not. I don't know. I mean, if I had to look at this entire leak, personally, I would say there's a few things in here that I would say either this guy's a really, really good guesser, or his story might be true. For little things here and there. That's what I'm saying, though, bro. Like, how does a disgruntled senior level designer at Blizzard who recently resigned? I mean, there's only been like 4 that you could think of, 4 names. I mean, was it the Quest guy? Might have been the Quest guy. I don't know. But I mean, it just seems like you just really can't have a conversation on Discord and get all of this out of it, you know? Especially if the conversation was quick. Sounds actually reasonably likely, to be honest. I mean, so far, like I said, 8.5 out of 10. This is probably the best leak I've seen. If you do a Rise of the Aspects quest expansion, though, you have to somehow determine how the Aspects get their powers back, right? Because they were drained of their powers, literally becoming mortal, right? That's the end of Cataclysm. Their eyes were blah, 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 and they became mortal. So, like, every actual leak has been from a live event staff. Well, I can tell you right now, there has been no internal events with content creators. At least I can guarantee you that. So unless they had an internal event for the entire expansion within their own company, who knows? But like I said, I mean, this one actually sounds good minus this rush zone shit. And it seems pretty basic. Like, I look at this and I say, if this were actually the expansion, this could be out by the end of the year. Because this is not like a world-changing, new planet, other side of Azeroth expansion. Right? Dude, Tinker class, though. Mecha suit for tanking. Imagine tanking the way Mecha Torque looked in the Zara lore, dude. Like, that would be bad ass if that was the shit.